Good evening and welcome to the Brockton Public School Policy Subcommittee meeting. Today is Thursday, September 3rd, 2026. It's currently 6:05. We're a few minutes behind. We are gathered at the Brockton High School Little Theater, 474 staff, Brockton, Massachusetts, 02301. I will call this meeting to order and establish a quorum. Ms. Centello? Here. Ms. Oliver?
Here.
Myself present as well. Due to the fact that some members are running late and we do not have a quorum at the moment, we will push the meeting to start at 6:30 p.m. With that being said, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and second. All those in favor? This meeting is adjourned. Good evening and welcome back to the Brockton Public School Policy Subcommittee meeting. Today is Thursday, September 3rd, 2026. It's currently 6:30 p.m. I will call this meeting to order and establish a quorum. Ms. Centello?
Here.
Ms. Oliver?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
Myself as the chairperson as well. We do have a quorum. I will read the following into record. In addition to being here, the public can view this meeting via television on Comcast Channel 8 and 1071 HD version and online via this link, www.youtube.com/TheBrocktonChannels. So today is a continuation of our previous policy subcommittee meeting. We did not have enough time last time, so we had to postpone some of the items. And there were items as well that needed some amendments. We will have agenda item number 3 is discussion and potential vote on the following policies. We'll take them one by one. Not every policy here needs a vote. Some are from the previous meeting. Some have already been voted on. It was just for the sake of reference and if anything else has come up since. We'll start with policy 1 and 2. Those were fully discussed, and the committee had made some recommendations, which legal counsel did incorporate into the revised policies. We just need a motion to approve and accept and recommend favorably to the full committee. If there is, I'll open it up now if there's any discussions or further questions, comments, concerns for policy 1 and 2, BEC and KE respectively.
Can I put a motion?
Yes.
Motion to accept policy BEC KE with the current corrections favorably to the whole committee.
That's a form of a motion. Is there a second?
On the motion.
Second and first?
Second.
On the motion, Mr. Rodriguez.
Well, we're going to have to hold off on this because the chair did send a correspondence to all the committee members that we will not allow any members to attend any meetings virtually or on the phone. So this policy contradicts. So you might want to hold off on that because we did have a member that wanted to attend this meeting virtually that wasn't allowed to. And that's why we have a delay in having this meeting.
This one pertains to executive session.
Correct. So
Not the regular meeting.
it falls in the same parameters. It's the same
don't-
thing that if you allow somebody to attend virtually on a subcommittee, come to a full committee, the chair doesn't want to allow anybody to attend virtually. It's the same thing when it comes to executive session because it's still a meeting.
I think there's a misunderstanding there. The notice was that you have to give a 48-hour notice so BCA can set up the teams. So it's actually embedded into the BCA system. So we've been having sound issues and whatnot. Similar to executive session, which was a request of this committee for people to be allowed to join. However, if it's via phone, it has to be approved by the chair.
So his email is contradicting to this policy with the changes.
No, not really.
He indicated that he will not allow anybody to attend virtually
Unless
unless if there's a,
there's a notification,
Circumstance.
48-hour notification, so teams can be set up.
okay,
Yes.
with the 48 hours, the chair doesn't need to allow that. Similar situation that we have now, we had somebody that notified to be here virtually, wasn't allowed.
On the phone. Yes.
Virtually, that's the law. It's
But
enacted
that's
until
subjective to
2027.
the chair of the committee.
So I would think this should be held off to get clarification from legal before we take an action on this tonight.
What's the noted? What's the will of the committee? There's a motion on the floor and a second. On the motion, Ms. Oliver.
On the motion, this policy is regarding a committee member that was refused to attend executive session because she did not attend the regular meeting.
Yes.
So this is basically covering that even so, if you're unable to attend a regular meeting, you are able to
Join
attend the
executive
executive thing. So I think that's two separate conversation that we're having. It has nothing to do with the regular meeting. This is about the executive session to cover, just in case you can't do the regular meeting, you are allowed to do the executive session.
Any more comments on this? No. Mr. Rodriguez?
Seeing that is no legal counsel present, I will hold off on taking this action so we don't dig ourselves up.
Sarah's actually on her way here.
All right, so we can move this, postpone this conversation and move on to the next one if that's okay with you.
So, but we do have a motion on the floor and it's been seconded. What's the will of the committee? I will take a roll call. If the committee wishes for this not to move forward, the vote will fail, basically.
It's not failed. You could just retract their motion in their seconds, and then we can postpone this matter.
Is there a will to retract the motion? The second and the motion? No. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a will to retract the second and the motion?
Are we able to put on hold until Sarah comes back? Just to give us a little bit of clarification if that's what we need to make the sound decision?
We can.
So I'll take that motion due
Withdraw
to the
your
fact we
second.
will discuss it once the legal team gets here.
Withdraw your second.
I'm going to withdraw my second.
And the motion has been withdrawn. So we will hold off on the item BEC until legal counsel gets here to provide some further clarification.
So do you
Thank
want
you.
the motion to KE?
Yes, please.
Motion on policy KE with the correction made by the legal team to move forward to the whole committee. Favorable.
That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to move KE with the corrections favorably to the whole committee. I will take, since we're all present in person, all those in favor?
I would do a roll call on this.
I don't think we have to.
I request a roll call.
Second.
Second. I will
That's
do a
what you
roll
have to
call.
do. So who votes no, who votes yes, because then it'll be just a number.
All those in favor for a roll call? We'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
No.
I'm a yes as well. It carries. So policy KE, which is in regards to public complaints revised by council on request of the committee, has been recommended favorably to the whole committee. Policy number 3 had already been addressed. 4, same thing. Policy 5 is the BBAA, School Committee Member Authority revision submitted by Vice Chair. We did not have enough time last meeting to go over this policy. What is the will of the committee regarding the policy? Or if there's any discussions. We did cover this policy, by the way. We just didn't get to vote on it. You can make a motion if you're, or if you have any questions.
I rather, can we postpone it to a different meeting?
Yes. It's the will of the committee. Is there in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Make a motion.
I would like to put a motion to postpone policy BBAA for our second policy subcommittee meeting, for our upcoming subcommittee meeting.
That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second, but I just need clarification. I'll just second it.
So second on the motion.
Is it, you just have more questions on it, or what's the holdup? Just to like,
I
you
just
just
didn't
want
have,
everybody
I
to-
need a refresher on it, and I just don't have it in front of me. So
Okay.
I want to be able to make a sound decision.
Okay.
understood.
There's a motion to postpone. We'll do a roll call vote. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. We'll postpone that matter to the next policy meeting. The next agenda item is line item 6, policy DBC, which is budget planning, preparation, and strategy, revision submitted by Vice Chair. I'll open it up for discussion, questions, comments, and concerns. I will provide an overview. I don't believe everybody bought their policy packet with them today, if I'm correct. Mr. Pina has his computer. He can pull it up. So we have a policy DBC that covers budget planning, preparation, and scheduling. What I personally did with this, because based on the recommendations of this committee and looking back at our budget season and how it went, included a couple clauses, paragraphs, whatever you want to call it, that goes over a timeline for our budget planning preparation as to when it gets to the committee, how long we should have to review, if there's any changes that should be communicated, and how soon it should be communicated to this committee. Quite extensive amount of revisions, so if this committee needs more time to refresh, or if we are ready to vote on this, we can do so. Questions, comments, concerns?
I'm ready to vote.
Ready to vote? No questions, no comments? All right, you want to make a
So,
motion?
A motion to approve DBC budget planning preparation strategy revision submitted by the vice chair, move to a whole committee.
That's the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been properly made and second. I'll do a roll call vote. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And myself, I'm a yes as well. It carries. The next item on the agenda is policy GCF, professional staff hiring. This is revisions by council based on request by vice chair. Similar to the previous policy, just a few revisions based on recommendations from this committee and recent events that have taken place. We just added the language. Actually, it's a very short sentence at the end of the policy that reads as follows. For any other position where hiring authority does not rest with the school committee, no member shall participate directly or indirectly in the hiring process. This is basically to avoid conflict of interest or any bias and whatnot when it comes to hiring staff, and we shouldn't really be hands-on with a lot of the hiring process that actually takes place within the district. I'll open it up for discussion or for a form of a motion if there are no questions. What's the will of this committee? Mr. Rodriguez?
Motion to approve policy GCF, professional staff hiring revisions by council based upon the request of the vice chair.
Thank you. That's in the
Second.
form of a motion. A motion has been properly made and second. I'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. It carries. Next item is policy JKAA, physical restraint and timeout policy. This is just to incorporate the mask model policy with MLM edits.
Chair,
Yes, Mr. Pina?
if possible, I see that we have Jamie in the, I'm sorry, Dr.
Lebalois.
Dr. Jamie, I can't say his last name. In the audience, if he wouldn't mind, obviously there's been some concern about not only the restraints, but also the room. If you can just kind of give us a little bit more information on this to help us understand what we currently do as compared to what this mask revision suggestion is.
Thank you for the question. That's a great point. There has been some dialogue, right, relative to the use of timeout rooms. Just one small edit. The proposed policy does not make reference. So I just it's
Sorry,
physical.
sorry. Can you just sit right there? There's
Oh,
no
of course.
microphone up there, or it's not working. I can't hear a word you're saying anyway. Sorry.
No, I apologize. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Just to make a quick note, the policy title should say physical restraint of students and not make any reference to timeout, actually. So on August 17th, a new regulation took effect across the Commonwealth that essentially eliminates the use of timeouts and timeout rooms in schools across the Commonwealth. It goes on to talk about and give a clearer definition around seclusion. And seclusion occurs when you have isolated a student, do not allow their free access of movement or removal from the room, and essentially has banned the use of seclusion throughout the Commonwealth unless a series of incredibly specific criteria have been met, including permission and authority from a licensed physician, a licensed mental health counselor, parental consent, etc. Because of the new regulations, the district has closed all timeout rooms across the district, except for a select few which are directly associated with specific special education programs. But in buildings where those programs do not function or run, those rooms, and I see our facilities team is here, they were working in collaboration with our exceptional learning team over the summer to actually revise all of those rooms to either be office spaces or storage or book rooms. So just to assure the committee, the district has implemented fully and to comply with this new regulation, and we have just finished our welcome back training with our faculty, and all of our all faculty have heard overviews of the new regulations, which are also required under the law. Is that all staff upon return are trained annually on definition of timeout, physical restraint, as well as seclusion.
So with that, so this should be reviewed again because of the new regulation, and therefore this is not a proper, correct policy.
Correct. The existing JKAA was the old policy. And so I actually, on August 3rd, I'm not sure it made it into your packet, but Jerry did distribute to everybody just a memo that explained the substantive revision. And I know that the committee's preference is generally to see a track change document. What I'll note is there is such substantive change to this policy that council recommended we completely rewrite it. So there was not enough in the base, right, of the policy to then amend to align with the new regulation. So what I did give the committee was sort of a side-by-side breakdown of what the old policy said and what the new policy says, again, to align with the law that came into effect on August 17th.
All right, so the current policy that's in front of us is not the revised policy, or it is the revised policy without the restraint, without the timeout room?
This is the previous one without the new updates that Jamie just mentioned.
So
we would have to postpone.
Point of information that should be postponed to put on
Postponed to
another
review,
because
yep.
the name was incorrect. All right, thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
No problem, of course.
I make a motion to postpone this, what number is it? It's number 8.
8, JKAA.
JKAA, physical restraint and timeout room policy, until another revision by legal counsel is made.
That's a motion.
Second.
That motion has been made improperly second. I'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. It carries. Item number 9 is policy ECAB, access to building and grounds. This is to incorporate mask proposed revisions. And basically, I'll read the change. I know some of you guys didn't bring it. It was only to include the following event and to personnel whose work requires it. That's just the addition that was added to that policy.
I'm sorry, can you speak into this, the mic? I can't hear you, man.
Yes. Let me read the whole sentence so it makes sense. Access within the building will be limited to only those participating in the authorized event, and I'm going to read the added section, and to personnel whose work requires it. That was the addition. So what's the will of the committee? Mr. Pina?
I would like to see this kind of actually strengthened a little bit further and go further than what Mask is suggesting, in that I think that during the school day, I think we need to have the schools locked down even more than that, and those to include even school committee members that have fobs shouldn't be allowed into those schools without going through the front office.
That is a great point, which I think policy BBAA covers, that we just postpone until people review it again. So I think, because it does cross-reference it with other policies.
That's okay.
Yeah. So we can accept this, and then we can go back to
Yep, I gotcha.
BBAA and
Yep.
review. So is there a motion regarding policy JKA, ECAB?
You want a motion to move it forward?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to move ECAB, access to buildings and grounds, mask proposed revisions to a committee of whole.
Motion has been properly made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and second. I'll do a roll call vote. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. It carries. All right, item 10, policy EEAEA, bus driver examination and training, mask proposed revision as well. Very similar to the previous one. It just cuts off part of the language, which for item 2, hopefully you guys get to review when you get back. It says each driver will file with school officials a medical certificate, period. The part that was cut off and said, and proof of freedom from tuberculosis. What's the will of the committee in regard?
Can you repeat that? What was the last part?
Yes. So the original sentence read as follow. Each driver will file with school officials a medical certificate and proof of freedom from tuberculosis. So the new mask revised policy crosses off and proof of freedom from tuberculosis.
Free from TB?
Yes.
Okay. We wasn't doing that before? I guess not.
It was, you would have to show proof that you were
Okay.
free from TB. So the new language cuts that off. Yeah, that sounds weird.
That sounds,
Because I guess people can waive it as well, so.
I have a question regarding that. Like almost every job, you have to have a TB testing. So why are we having our drivers not having one? If they're in a very high populated bus with a lot of kids. I know Massachusetts is not a high risk of TB, but there still has been cases of TB, so I think that's something I would like to revise and
Can
look
push
at it.
into,
I don't
yeah.
think should be something that should be free of TB.
Okay,
As a
we can-
medical person, a nurse, I don't think that's something that we should take off the table at all.
We can postpone until
Okay.
legal counsel.
So I'll make a motion to postpone the EEA bus drive examination training for further clarification regarding TB screening.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Mr. Pina? You can submit the amendment. We'll incorporate it and then bring it back. There's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion has been properly made and second. I'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez? Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. This has been postponed. We'll move on to number 11, which is JFBB, school choice masked proposed revisions. And it's one page. It only adds a section number 3, which says that any sibling of a student already enrolled in the district shall receive priority for admission for school choice. I'll open it up to the committee for comments. Seeing none, what's the,
Motion to approve policy KBG JFBB school choice mass proposed revisions.
motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been properly made and second. I'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. It carries. The next one is number 12, policy KBG, Parent Advisory Council's masked proposed revisions. I'll read the revisions just so for those that don't have it. This is a bit of a longer one. These are the following revisions. Add in the language, the school committee shall establish a Parent Advisory Council on Special Education, CPAC. Membership shall be offered to all parents of children with disabilities and other interested parties. The CPAC shall independently establish bylaws regarding officers and operational procedures, and in the course of its duties shall receive assistance from the school committee without charge upon reasonable notice and subject to availability of staff and resources. It crosses out a few sections as well and adds the following: as modified with respect to paragraph B, application to the open meeting law by the Massachusetts Attorney General, Attorney General Law, Open Meeting Law 2021-150, and it has the link to the same. further changes to cross out the following language regarding matters that impact ELS, such as providing advice on English learner education programs, meeting regularly with school officials about educational opportunities for ELS, and providing input on school or district improvement plans as they relate to ELS. It also crossed out the language that says school and/or districts will provide notification to parent guardians annually in a language that is accessible to them. It goes on to add the following. ELPAC duties include, but are not limited to, providing advice to the district or school regarding its English learner education programs, meeting regularly with school officials to participate in the planning and development of programs designed to improve educational opportunities for ELS, participating in the review of school improvement plans and district improvement plans as the plans relate to ELS, and reviewing proposals by the school district to offer a new instructional program for ELS. Mr. Pina?
We don't have a KBG. It can't be a revision if we don't have a KBG.
It is a revision.
It
You
says
have the
community
document?
relations, and under our policies, we do not have a KBG, unless, I mean, I'm on the school site with our policies.
Interesting. I can tell you in a second.
I think it's missed, let me see.
Every mask revision, we have a policy. Every mask revision, we have a policy. It's
Mr. Rodriguez,
it's
say that
probably
again?
just an error that you're not picking it up, so. This is a mask revision. Policy exists.
Say that again?
You're saying that it's not on the,
I'm looking at our policies, and under
that's-
the KBG, we don't have anything. There is no KBG, but I believe that
Probably just an
it is
error.
under another policy.
Yeah, it should be. I don't have my full packet to tell you, but we can always postpone as well if the committee wants to double check. What's the will of the committee?
I would move that we postpone this KBG to further review what the current policy is, if there is one.
Okay, that's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been properly made in second. I'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. That will be postponed. The next one, postponed, is 13 that had already been approved by this committee. I do not need a vote. And 14 had been approved as well by this committee. I do not need a vote. Number 15, it's a new policy interacting with law enforcement officers engaged in civil law enforcement based off the PROTECT Act. We do have a proposed policy that should be in your packet that was on the table today. I know not everybody got to review this policy specifically. I know people are familiar with the PROTECT Act. I put it on the agenda mainly for discussion. I know we do need to vote on this. We are past the deadline, which should have been the 1st of this month. But similar to what Member Centello said earlier, I want you guys to review it and feel comfortable with what you're voting on. I'll open it up for discussion now.
And I am trying to find it. Give me-
If any member has anything to say in regards to this.
Well, I know that we already have some policies in place I would like for, I know when I first came into this role, I asked for that policy, and so I'm not sure if everybody got an opportunity to read. Well, I need a refresher on that policy to see what we have in place now and what we add in with this new proposed policy.
Okay. A few things that, so I did a cross-reference of this. I worked on this and spoke with legal counsel, and I would like for legal counsel to review it before we actually vote on it. But a few policies that I used as cross-reference is EBC, which is Emergency Response Plans, JRA, Student Records, giving out information, things like that, KI, Visitors to School, and JLIE, which is Student Automobile Use and School Transport, if applicable. I just brought it up for discussion, but I know most people would probably want to review it. Mr. Pina?
So the last time those emergency response plans were updated was when? I believe it was
Can't tell you top of my
around
head.
COVID time.
Yeah, I believe so.
So this new law then obviously asks for specific communication trees.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think that policy that you referenced falls within the law, the requirement of the law.
Which one? All of them, or you mean?
I think they're out of date and they need to be updated.
Yes, and that's something that we can do, but this is very specific to the PROTECT Act itself.
I know what it is, and that if you read the PROTECT Act, it said that there has to be a policy within this policy, it has to have a communication tree.
Yes, and it's also something that we can direct the superintendent to designate individuals for that communication tree. So what is the will of this committee?
Do you want a motion? Are you looking for a motion to pass it to the whole committee for vote? Because I'm ready to do that.
When I put this on the agenda, I did not put it on for a vote, more so for discussion. But it is the will of the committee, so.
The deadline was on September 1st, right? For us to implement this?
Yes.
I think everybody knows about the law, so I think it's just a manner of like who is for it and not for it.
Mr. Pina?
As the member from Ward 3 thinks that it has to do with who's for it and who's not for it, that's not the case. The case is that we follow the law as it's written, and we don't make this a political stunt, and that it's put in place as it's supposed to be put in place.
Thank you. Given that we are past time, we will postpone the remainder policies that we voted on. And I'll take a motion to, well, this one didn't need a vote. I put it in more so for discussion. For the next policy meeting that we have, we'll have legal counsel review it thoroughly and give members a chance of having inputs and whatnot. That concludes the item number 3. Item 4, other businesses. Is there any other businesses? No. Item 5 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been properly made in second. I'll do a roll call. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina? And I'm a yes as well. This meeting is adjourned.
Time having arrived, I call the meeting of the school committee to order for today, Thursday, September 3rd, 2026, and it's 7:08 p.m. Please rise and help us salute our beautiful flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, staff and fellow colleagues, welcome to our new school year, 2026-2027. Before we begin, I guess I got to do some housekeeping here, letting people know that our folks that are watching that this program is available on channel 8 and high definition 1071, and it's also broadcasted via YouTube on TheBrocktonChannels.com. Before we begin, let me establish a quorum. Ms. Sinte, are you here?
Yes, I
Mr.
am.
Gomes?
Here.
Ms. Oliver?
Here.
Mr. Pina?
Here.
And I'm here as well. And we do have a quorum. As far as the hearing of visitors, which we normally reserve for about 3 minutes per person, we only have one, Katie Stanford. Is she here? Please come down and help us out.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to introduce you to, maybe Mrs. Campbell will pause when I cry, because I'm probably going to cry, but pause my time. But I wanted to introduce you to the seniors in this year's marching band. Yes, that is a very old video from this year's seniors' performance in the 4th grade. They started their band journey in 2018 amid budget cuts and Brockton Kids Count. I'm sorry, it's one of those days.
You got this, Katie.
Their second year was cut short by COVID. In their third year, they learned their instruments entirely over Zoom. This was no small feat for anyone involved, as you remember. Now I can't see. Their freshman year began in 2023. Budget woes, camera crews, shade from the media, hours in the cafeteria without subs. They went through it all, and they have endured. Under some less than ideal circumstances, these kids have grown into excellent musicians and even better humans. While in concert band, they compete at the highest level and win. Marching band season is all about the joy. They bring it everywhere they go, no matter how they are received. These kids have had one constant since elementary school, their director, Mr. Andy Fantuccio. He has been a mentor, advocating for our kids and helping them grow as musicians, leaders, and good human beings, fostering a community of support and joy. I know he helped my child gain a confidence he didn't know he had back in the 4th grade when he chose the most difficult instrument. We parents are so thankful for Mr. Fantuccio's role in our kids' lives. You saw him there and conducting that little band. One final challenge our kids have endured. Their last band camp could not be held in the stadium because the turf was still being installed. So, like they do, they pivoted and they had camp at Massasoit, but that meant missing their end-of-season preview that they like to do for the community. So they've decided to put in an extra practice tomorrow night just so they can perform the halftime show in a preview on the field. So you all are invited to join the kids for this year's first performance of the halftime show tomorrow night at 7:30 in the stadium. Thank you for the ways you've supported this crew and their excellent educators. Please continue to show up for them.
Thank you, Katie. I don't believe we have anybody else. So let's go right to our agenda. Madam Superintendent, your report.
Good evening, everyone. So if it's okay, I'd like to take item A and B collectively and do the opening of school report, the teaching and learning superintendent's report, and the superintendent evaluation and process and timeline. All right. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to school year 26-27. We are so excited to be back. Today was our first day of school for grades 1 through 12. And there were lots of hugs goodbye from parents and hugs hello from principals and educators at schools across Brockton this morning as we welcomed back our students. BHS students and staff braved the early morning rain to get the school year started. Here you also see our Kennedy, George, and Raymond communities coming together to celebrate the start of the school year. At South, Principal Thomas was making her video announcements to the school. BHS Principal McCaskill is hosting an assembly with 9th grade students here. We have our BVLA Principal Lynch and her staff who are welcoming their school communities back in their own unique way. And at Promise, they didn't have long with their students before 50 students were right back on the bus and headed to Quincy College for classes. Thank you to all of our school staff who made students feel welcomed and answered parents' questions in person and over the phone, and to our parents for their patience as we got the year started and adjusted to new routines. We know there were several hiccups, as there generally are the first day of school, and we are still working through some things, but we do hope that the next days will be smoother. But even before the school year started, the class of 2027 celebrated the beginning of their senior year at BHS with the annual Senior Sunrise, with huge numbers of seniors coming out yesterday morning to mark the sunrising on their senior year. I want to thank Nancy Tucker, Dave Brophy, and all of the staff and parents at the high school who woke up before sunrise to make this possible. We also recently hosted a district-wide pre-K focused professional development that centered on curriculum and our work to roll out thematic units that better align our pre-K curriculum across the district with state frameworks. Pre-K will be rolling out fall, winter, spring, and summer themes, as well as featured resources and curricula that are research-based and that incorporate play to keep students engaged. And I want to thank Leah Flynn and Sue Maselli for making this happen. The developmental program Summer Institute was held over 3 days in August. Teachers engaged in Encore 101 or Encore Refresher, curriculum scope and sequence, classroom strategies, make and take visuals for classrooms, lesson planning, and so much more. The Institute was met with rave reviews. One teacher even said it was the best PD activity that they have attended in 15 years as a special educator. While our schools certainly are a lot quieter during the summer than they are during the school year, that doesn't mean there isn't plenty going on. Community schools hosted a ton of amazing, engaging programs at schools throughout the district. Many of our educators spend their summer just as they do their school year, working with students on their reading, writing, and math skills. Also, volunteers from TJX and Playworks spent a day at the Arnone freshening up the Blacktop Playground. Our extended school year students put on an incredible end of summer talent show. Our facilities team did some work freshening up buildings, reimagining spaces, and also rebuilding other spaces to make them as good as they can be for students and staff. And right before we welcomed back our educators and support staff, we welcomed back our district leaders for a full day of professional development focused on the progress we've made as a district and where we're headed in the school year to come. A big thank you to member AZAC, the Boxer Outreach Club, and Cradles to Crayons, as well as other members who joined to help hand out backpacks at the annual backpack giveaway over the summer. Thanks to the generous donation from Cradles to Crayons and the support of dozens of student and adult volunteers, 6,500 backpacks were distributed to students in our community. I also want to offer a big congratulations to all of our schools whose efforts have resulted in Brockton Public Schools earning Unified Champion School District status. This accolade reflects the commitment by 100% of our schools who served students with neurodivergent students to the 3 pillars of Special Olympics of Massachusetts Unified Champions Program: unified sports, inclusive youth leadership, and whole school engagement. So congratulations to Angelo, Ashfield, Baker, Barrett Russell, BHS, Brookfield, Davis, Downey, East, Gilmore, Hancock, Kennedy, Plouffe, North, Raymond, and South. I'm also excited to share that BPS has secured over $1.5 million in state grants to support our English language arts curriculum work across the district through DESE's Partnership for Reading Success Massachusetts, also known as the PRISM program. 1.1 million of the funding goes toward continuing our ongoing PRISM 1 work to strengthen Brockton Public Schools' early literacy system through a comprehensive approach that includes literacy coaching, job-embedded professional learning for educators and leaders, collaboration with community-based pre-K partners and Bridgewater State University, MTSS implementation, and building leadership capacity. Funds also support instructional materials and assessment for students, with a particular emphasis on meeting the needs of students with disabilities, multilingual learners, and early childhood programs. Another $476,000 in PRISM 3 funding will be used to support the implementation of high-quality middle school ELA instructional materials across all 7 middle schools. Funding provides for the purchase of DESE-approved curriculum materials, coaching and professional development through a PRISM curriculum and instruction coach, and stipends for instructional leaders and teacher representatives to serve on a PRISM curriculum council that will coordinate and guide the multi-year implementation. Also, I am excited to introduce the 3 members of the first cohort of our newly revamped year-long administrative internship, which gives educators in the district a chance to explore administrative career paths. This year will be the first time that the internship has taken place over the course of an entire school year rather than just for a few weeks in the spring. So I would like to announce Sophia Padella, who is an 8th grade math teacher at East Middle School, where she has taught grades 6 through 8 for the past 7 years. She holds a Master's of Education in Mathematics from Lesley University and has a strong passion for using data to understand student needs and support student growth. Through her participation in the administrative internship, Sophia looks forward to expanding her perspective beyond the classroom and exploring how data can inform broader school and district level decisions. She is eager to learn from the experienced school leaders, contribute to the work of Brockton Public Schools, and apply her experiences as she continues to grow as an educator and future educational leader. So welcome, Sophia. Janine Porter was raised in Brockton and educated through the Brockton Public School System. As a 1987 BHS grad, she was the class secretary, a member of the National Honor Society, Afro-American Club, Spanish Club, a cheerleader, and dancer choreographer in the spring musicals. Janine attended New York University, earned her bachelor's in film and television production, and had an impressive career in the music industry working with artists such as AC/DC and Missy Elliott. When she decided to leave music and enter the teaching profession, Janine became a special education teacher at West Middle School for 13 years before becoming a team chair, and is extremely excited about this internship. She'd like to play a vital role in Brockton's educational system, a system that allowed her to explore the world, share her experiences with her students, and make a positive impact on the children of Brockton. Welcome, Janine. And last but not least, Alana Healy. Alana Healy is entering her 9th year teaching 8th grade science at North Middle School. Throughout her time with BPS, she has served in a variety of building and district level leadership roles, including middle school science lead teacher, as a member of the middle school scheduling task force, the Student Discipline and Accountability Task Force, the DESE Teacher Diversification PLC, and the Smithsonian STEM Summit Steering Committee. A lifelong Brocktonian, proud product of Brockton Public Schools, Alana is passionate about giving back to the community that shaped her. She is using the administrative internship to strengthen her leadership skills, learn from experienced administrators, and better understand decision-making at the building and district levels. She is particularly interested in using data to identify needs, bridge gaps, and create systems that support equitable opportunities and outcomes for all students. Welcome, Alana. So again, congratulations to our 3 administrative interns. We are very much looking forward to this year and to this new model, and also to getting their feedback to see what is working and what we can do to improve. That's actually part of the reason that this program has become year-long rather than just in the spring, is as a result of the feedback we've received. So we hope to continue to improve it over time. Also, I'm excited to announce Brockton Public Schools Community Resource Fair, which is brought to you by the Social Emotional Learning Department with the support of the Mental Health and Wellness Subcommittee. It is going to be hosted at the Shaw Center on September 26th, 2026, and the time is still to be determined, and we have several different partners who will be joining us as well. So I look forward to letting you know more about that in the weeks to come and to sharing how it goes. And then finally, this is the time of year where we do the superintendent evaluation. And so I just wanted to do another overview, as I know we do have some new members. So every year, the evaluation process has 5 different steps. It's first that the school committee approves the goals and focus indicators, so generally 6 focus indicators. 2, the superintendent then provides the self-assessment that includes evidence, artifacts, and rationales. 3, each individual school committee member completes the evaluation rubric. 4, the superintendent evaluation subcommittee, or here it's also the same as the superintendent contract subcommittee, compiles the composite evaluation. And then the 5th step is that the school committee approves the final evaluation and overall rating. So as just a reminder too, there's always 3 goals. There's a district improvement goal, a professional practice goal, and a student learning goal. And then there are 6 focus indicators that you all voted on last year. So to review what the goals and indicators were, we had the district improvement goal was to continue to enhance efficiencies and implement audit findings in order to improve district operations, increase transparency, and ensure ongoing compliance. The professional practice goal was to support the district review of systems, policies, and practices relative to DESE standards and indicators that highlights key strengths, areas for growth, and recommendations that promote improvements and advance equitable student outcomes and experiences. And I'm actually really excited. At the next meeting, I'll be presenting to all of you the results of our district review, which were incredibly positive. I've been able to present them to our school leaders and to our educators, and I look forward to sharing those results with all of you as well. And then the student learning goal, which was to provide additional intervention and support to schools that have been identified by DESE as requiring targeted assistance. Then on the right-hand side, you see the standards of effective administrative leadership practices. This is at a glance. So you'll see that there are 4 different standards. Standard 1, instructional leadership. Standard 2, management and operations. Standard 3, family and community engagement. And Standard 4, professional culture. Under each of those, you see the focus indicators. I have to choose at least 1 focus indicator from each of the columns, from each of the standards, and obviously since I choose 6, there will be 1 from more than 1. So basically what I do is I look at the feedback and the needs of the district to determine what I think my focus indicator should be, my goals should be, and then present them to all of you. So the focus indicators that you all had voted on were Standard 1C, which is about assessment, Standard 1E on data-informed decision-making, Standard 2E on fiscal systems, Standard 3B, sharing responsibility, Standard 3C, communication, and Standard 4D, continuous learning. And just to give an overview of the timeline since I have been here for those 5 steps. So my first year, because I started as the interim, my evaluation cycle started a little bit later. So you'll see on the top that the review of my goals and focus indicators and the approval of the goals and focus indicators actually happened both on the same night, March 18th, 2025. Then I provided to the committee my end-of-year report or self-assessment. I call it an end-of-year report on August 22nd. All of you completed your evaluation form submission by September 24th. And then I believe you all met to compile it. And then by October 7th, it was formally voted upon by the committee, and that was for 2025. Then I used your evaluation results to determine what my goals and my focus indicators would be for this year. So on October 22nd, 2026, I gave you a review of my goals and focus indicators for this year, along with my rationale, which was based greatly in the feedback that I had received in the evaluation you had just done for me. And then on December 2nd, y'all did the official approval of the goals and focus indicators, and then I work on it throughout the year. You did receive my end-of-year report on August 14th, and the evaluation form submission right now is due September 18th. And then the plan is y'all would meet as you generally do, and then if we were going by the same timeline as last year, it would be voted on October 6th. I would also, this year, because I do get to see the evaluation results in between that time, I also am happy to come with what I believe should be my goals and focus indicators at that same meeting in order to be more efficient. Also, I do, when we have the district review results, I certainly want to use some of those next steps that they have given us to determine what my foci should be for this upcoming year. So I think I'm also going to use that as sort of my roadmap as well. And just finally, because I know that this book does look intimidating, but it truly isn't. And so just for the new membership, and again, I'm happy to answer any questions. It really works the same way that our educator evaluations do, which is it gives you an overview of what the goal or focus indicator is. And then the bullet points say how I believe I met the goal or focus indicator. And then everything behind that are the artifacts. So that's something that our educators do as well. They state that they believe they met their goals, or they are showing that they have met certain standards, and then they upload artifacts throughout the school year to demonstrate that. So really, it's just the main pages that give you bullet points saying, here's the evidence, here's what I believe I achieved in these focus indicators, and then everything behind it is evidence. So a lot of it that you're going to see are things you may have seen throughout the course of the year already. So for example, the first one, since it was about continuing to enhance efficiencies and implement audit findings, one of the bullet points for that one is our OIG report and response and all of the attachments. So you all have seen that before. That's actually on our website, and that's what's included as an artifact. So again, it's not that you have to, read everything. It's just kind of a reminder of, oh yeah, these were the artifacts over the course of the year that demonstrate meeting those focus indicators or goals. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. A and B, I'm happy to take any questions.
Wouldn't you want the district review utilized during this evaluation process, or you would want to hold off?
I mean,
Because
if you want to, it was great. Exceeds expectations all around.
So, I mean, I think that should be part of this evaluation, not for the next following evaluation, if all the members are in agreement with that, because, that was work that, myself, the members were, new members were part of the district review, so I think we should take that into consideration when we do this evaluation.
And I'm happy to send those results out to all of you before I present the findings publicly on the 15th.
Thank you.
Cynthia, go ahead.
Well, welcome back. I'm excited to be here, and I'm hoping that we're going to make some great work and move the district forward. I just have a few questions about your presentation. You did mention that for going back to school today being the first day, there was some little hiccups. Are you able to share with us what are those little hiccups that we need to work through?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, we always anticipate that transportation is going to be difficult the first day. But I think an additional challenge that we faced this year is that we did implement the new routing software, which is a great thing, but that came with some of its own challenges, especially as it merged the data from our Infinite Campus and addresses and, you know, which programming gets transportation. So we definitely had some issues there that we are working through, and I really do want to say thank you to all of the parents. I know, you know, for some it was great, for others it was very frustrating, and I just want to thank you so much for being patient with us. We did have extra folks at the call center today trying to make sure that we were addressing everybody's concerns. I know that I still have some emails I'll have to respond to after this, but I think we figured out some of the issues that we need to resolve. We also had just some, you know, other issues. We had an issue at the George with the plumbing, but that has been resolved. So the George will be open tomorrow, thank goodness. You know, there tends to be issues too with, and these are typical where students end up at the wrong school. Maybe they thought they were assigned to a different school. I actually got the feedback that that happened less this year, so that's good. One of the things that we definitely need to work on for next year is being more proactive about changes of address. So one of the concerns that I heard from the Parent Information Center was that we had over 100 families who came in and changed their address the day before school started. And that has a trickle down of impacts because, as you can imagine, the routes are already set then. And so when a address is changed, a placement can change, a route changes, and then it doesn't just impact that one child or family, then there's a trickle down effect of those routes. So we really do need to make sure that we are communicating, and I ask for all y'all's help with this as well, that there is a process, there's a proof of residence that needs to be provided. It's not just a simple email going to someone saying, hey, I moved. And so there are a lot of logistics that go with that. So that is something that we are going to really communicate out, and I'm hoping with our new parent engagement platform, Parent Square. We also had some glitches with that, but we're getting through that, that we will be able to really communicate that out. And I also ask our ward representatives too, to make sure that when you're meeting folks, that if they happen to say that they moved or something, that you remind them that there's a process and that we do need to, and that to do it earlier rather than later, because oftentimes if you move during the school year, you may not update it. And so, because you're still going to the same school, but that can have impacts for the following school year, so.
I just have a few more questions. And what about staff and teachers? Are we fully, how are we looking with that specific support? So staff and paras, so teachers and paras, and how are we doing?
We still have, I can get you the report on how many vacancies that there are. I know that the one area where we still have hiring to do specifically is in our paraprofessionals. We have several vacancies there. So if you all know anyone, let us know. But I can get you, I will get you the vacancy report, like the one I sent. I would send y'all last year from time to time. I will get that to you.
Okay. And then the grants that you mentioned, the 1.5 million, it's called PRISM? What a name. But does that program allow for any tutoring? So we do know that okay.
And do you want to talk more about it?
I think that's
Our
always
Assistant
needed.
Superintendent Karen Spalding loves to talk about prison, so if it's all right, I'd love to invite her up.
Oh, you can sit right next to me.
Prism. Prism. Beautiful shape.
Maybe we could start with, can you tell us about, I mean, I don't know if you know why that name selection? Is that an acronym for something else, or is it just, I mean, we don't have to elaborate. If you don't know, you don't know.
Partnership for Reading.
Something Massachusetts.
Something
I
in
can-
Massachusetts. So PRISM lives under the governor's literacy launch initiative, and there are a few different PRISMs. There's PRISM 1, there's PRISM 2, there's PRISM 3. We were one of the first, closer, like that? That good? Okay. Oh. We were one of the first districts, one of only 10 selected for PRISM 1 last year, and so we got $1.3 million last year from PRISM 1. We got, and then the award for PRISM 1 this year is about 1.1 million. And then in addition to that, I also applied for PRISM 3, which is the one for middle school. So that was an additional $470-something thousand. And so PRISM 1 is very focused on early literacy, so pre-K through 3. And it supports professional development for teachers. It has partially supported our school-based literacy coaches. It supports also pre-Ks in the community, which is extremely important because no matter where they are for pre-K, they're all coming to us, hopefully, for kindergarten. And so really trying to bring some coherence and consistency in the kinds of before kindergarten experiences that students have really entrenched in literacy. And so we've built up data systems. We have done coaching, have a partnership with the Hill for Literacy, who's nationally known for their work in really building up the systems and capacities that districts need to push early literacy. And a new piece going into this year is the partnership with Bridgewater State, which is mutually beneficial because higher ed gets to really understand what it takes to really build those early foundational skills. So when they prepare teachers that eventually come to us, hopefully, they have a really strong skill set, and then we get to learn from them in terms of the work that they're doing at the higher ed level. And then PRISM 3 for the middle school will support examining, doing a curriculum review with support from a coach to do that, and it also includes funds to actually purchase and adopt a new HQIM for the middle school level.
I think my question was specific. How is tutoring part of that? So like, for example,
So tutoring is not specifically part of PRISM, but we do tutoring. We have started out as a pilot. I'll give a shout out to a couple of our known teachers, Carrie Olson in particular, and it started as virtual. So it's virtual tutoring for elementary students, and we have funded that through Title I. And it has been tremendously successful and has a really unique family engagement piece to it because we're able to connect with families in a way that we just normally don't, because the tutoring might happen at 4:30 or 5 o'clock or 5:30. And so it's been hugely successful, and we have a lot of powerful data to support its effectiveness.
yeah, I'm big on Twitter, and I'm happy to hear that is being offered. So for the folks at home that's listening, to educate them. So if a family, after hearing your presentation, that they are interested in tutoring, is this something that their child has to be in an IEP to get it, or like how can they access this program here, the tutoring program, through our schools?
Sure. So the tutoring, just to clarify, is specifically connected to reading. So it would support, and students do not have to have an IEP or 504, but we do target students who are demonstrating some slower progress in reading than what we would expect for their grade level. And we've been targeting that sort of first grade, second grade, even third grade level, although we've had some success with some fourth graders as well. And so we should be getting some information out to families soon. Once teachers get settled in their classrooms, then we'll be recruiting those tutors, and we'll get that information. We'll get that information out to families, and they're welcome to always email me directly, and I'll make sure they get what they need.
Thank you. I always talk about tutoring, and I know that even some teachers from the school have reached out to me, like, how do we go about it? So I appreciate you for clarifying that you don't have to be an IEP to receive the tutoring. So hopefully that could be something that we continue to highlight and let the community know that this is available. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Ms. Oliver?
Thank you. Just quick question regarding transportation. Just wanted some update, just to know how many individuals in the call center, because I know there was a lot of comments, social media, people complaining that even myself, when I was calling, it was always voicemail, and then stating the voicemail was full. So I'm trying to figure out how often were they checking those voicemail to make sure they were updating parents that were calling to know what's the status of the bus, the delay.
And invite Ken.
Good evening. So we had approximately 6 to 7 people in the call center all day, fielding most, if not all, the calls. And actually, some of the feedback we were getting were not many people were leaving or trying to leave messages because we were answering the calls. But we did acknowledge the fact that a lot of the voicemails were full, and that'll be rectified probably tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. I just appreciate it because I know there was a lot of message coming through.
Yeah.
And when I called also a few times, there was like the voicemail was full and I couldn't reach anybody.
Right.
But
And-
thank you to
and-
Ms.
and the-
Campbell that helped me out, but we got it settled. But
No, it
just to
worked
make
out. I
sure.
mean, the phone started ringing at 5:45 in the morning and just
Okay.
kept going, so we just kept picking them up as fast as we could.
Perfect. I appreciate it. And I do like the fact there was more people in the call center than last year. And of course, we all, it's going to be about a week or so, hopefully less than that, till we get
Right.
everybody straightened out with the bus route and everything else. But I do appreciate all the bus drivers taking the time, and definitely the drivers around the city, slow it down. Do not, pass the stop sign in the bus, or you will get a ticket. So definitely I appreciate everybody's work.
Everybody did a good job.
That's it? Anyone else? All right, let's go on to item C.
So item C is the finance update. So as was requested by the committee, we did put out an RFQ for actuarial services, and the deadline for submitting that we did targeted outreach to 18 different actuaries. We did receive one response that I'm happy to send to the school committee in response. So it was just one response to our request because the deadline, I believe, was yesterday at noon. And so we'll be sending that along. However, we did have a conversation with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education today, who has also been meeting with the city as part of the transition for the city CFO, because they're trying to wrap up some things before the city CFO moves on. And one of the things they did discuss was the hiring of an actuary. I know that their KSM is the actuary used by the city, and so there was a recommendation from DOR to the city of Brockton to use that actuary rather than having us go out for an actuary, since y'all already have that partnership. But again, that's up to the will of the committee. I know, Mr. Gomes, you were on that meeting as well, so if you wanted to chime in, they thought that it might be duplicative to have two, and that it could, However, they understood too that, you know, the maybe the desire to just kind of validate numbers, that could be something that the school committee chooses to do. But their recommendation, DESI's recommendation, was just to have the one actuary from the city validate the numbers. Do you want to say more about that? Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Peter.
So how long has the city had this partnership?
I actually don't know much about the city's actuary, so this was a conversation we had just at 1 o'clock today, and DESI isn't familiar with that actuary either, so I would have to do some more research.
It's just odd that the current CFO or outgoing CFO had said that he wanted to be a part of the process of hiring an actuary and wouldn't have mentioned that he already had an actuary. I'm a little bit confused, but maybe that's just how government works, but, okay, thank you.
That's a great question. I can find out more.
Thank you. I mean, I was not in the last meeting, but the one prior that was recommended with the actuaries. But finding out now, you know, we always find out something that we don't know, that the city does have an actuary. But the way that things have been going, finance, the city side, school side, we need to have our own to check that, because we wouldn't be in this problem if those numbers, you know, added up. So it's not pointing fingers, but just validating those numbers to make sure that they're accurate. So having two is not going to hurt. You know, I do it, you know, I have my position here, and from the onset, from going back to the deficit till now and meeting with the state, it's not just a school, but it's predominantly a city issue. So I think having that second one is going to validate so we can get those numbers corrected.
Well, I'd say we just wait and see what the response is. If it's a reputable company that actually answer the RFQ, we'll take it and see what it's like, and we'll see where we go from there. I agree with you as well.
I agree, but, you know, just my concern
to
is
be
that,
on the,
yeah,
you know, on the
plane, like, we have it existed. Outgoing CFO's been part of all these meetings, and now it's just coming to light as,
No, I
you know,
think
another red flag.
the actuary has been in place since we actually bonded out. And that was one of the requirements, that we had to have one, just to make sure that they kind of oversaw this. And
I'm sorry. So if we've had that actuary in the past, then why wasn't it ever mentioned, and why weren't they used, and why was the finance department of the city just trying to come up with numbers on their own? I'm really confused about that.
well, that's your opinion, that they came up with numbers on their own, but
That's what
the
they
city
said.
always has to provide numbers to both DOR in the state itself. So it's not like we're throwing numbers out there, but these actuaries are just there to kind of check on the work that actually gets done. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I share a similar perspective as both of you guys, the chair and Mr. Rodriguez, and even in the discussion that we had with the CFO and the whole team, I believe a different set of eyes can pinpoint or find something or give a little bit more data that could be helpful, not just to the school side, but the city as well, as we plan and move forward with this. So we'll share the RFQ with the committee. We'll look at the numbers, see if it's good, if we want to really move forward with it.
I agree. Go ahead, Matt.
Any other questions about that? Okay, all right. D is the MS.
I'm sorry. I thought we were just done on that part. I do have some questions on the finance.
Oh, okay.
So we're still, can you give a little bit more information on the non-net spending that we were having issues with the deficit that we had, and where we're at with that?
Yes. Would you, do you want to come up and talk about it? Yeah. Sorry, so if it's all right, I'm going to invite up Kim Tsai to talk about some of the net school spending funds that we've been using.
Hi, so just to clarify, the non-net school spending funds, you're talking about the transportation funds?
Can you talk into the speaker? Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. So when you're referring to the non-net school spending, are we talking about the transportation funds?
Yeah, the deficit that we have, yes.
So that is something we continue to raise as a reminder that, it is still negative funds in the non-net school spending for FY26.
And what is it at right now?
It's over 3 million.
Okay. That's it? No ideas as how that gets fixed, or?
So non-net school spending, I mean, that is not something that the school department is responsible for. So, we defer to the city and as to how they would like to fund.
So I guess I'm curious as to know are we paying bills? Are we not paying bills? If we're down that amount of money, how are we paying bills?
So we're in FY27 now, right? So we have the non-net school spend funds from FY27. We spent generally for salaries in FY26. So that's why it was in the negative. But
Was it the special education transportation that put us in the negative? Or was it the salaries that put us in the negative?
so I'll give you the exact breakdown, but I can definitely say it was a majority of the salary line because you can't enter requisitions if you don't have enough funds in that line.
Correct. So just to be clear, so we're now spending 2027 funds to pay off 2026 debt.
No, so if you pay for salaries, it can go in a deficit for non-net school spend funds. So we were just using that as a salary line, and so it's still negative. So for FY27, we have funds for non-net, so we're spending FY27 funds now for expenditures for this school year, but there's
Correct.
still negative lines from FY26.
And at this point, I mean, we do need to reconcile because we're getting to the end of the year and the end of the year reporting. We have been invited to an accounts meeting on September 10th, so next week. And so I will bring this up again because I did put in the request for the non-net funds and I'm waiting for the response. And bring up the fact that we have been utilizing our own funds for that. So,
And just one more question. So the dashboard that we use, that the school committee has access to, shows that we have additional negatives. So what are we doing with those? Are we going by this dashboard that we're given, or are we not going by that dashboard?
so we have to re-sign the Open Architects contract to make sure that we have the dashboard up and running. So that did lapse at this point, and so we have entered into a new contract so that we can update it.
Okay, did that go to his committee? What was that one? Your committee for contracts.
Bid review?
Bid review, sorry, yeah.
That's,
No, it's a state contract.
Oh,
yes.
okay. And I guess there's an additional question. We had talked previously about bringing in I know they're not called truant officers, attendance officer, there you go. And we didn't bring that one. I just don't see it on the agenda again. I'm just curious as to why we did 2 of them and not the last one, or 3 of them and not the last one.
I don't know that I can discuss that publicly.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gomes?
I do have a question. Going back to finance, because we are funding transportation, so to say, while we wait for the funds, what happens then? How does that get reconciled? If you can just share. For instance, we file the end of the year report, then the city is going to owe us that money. It's going to be, they're going to have to give it back. What happens?
So I will clarify about what the process is for non-net school spend funds for the end of year report. Because remember, non-net school fund, that is not our responsibility to pay. So I don't know if that's reported. I don't know if Dusty sends a letter saying that's not funded or there's negative balance lines. That is just not our school responsibility. Therefore, let me look into whether that's even included in the end of year reporting, and if it is, what those implications are. Because again, that's not something we're supposed to pay.
Okay, if you could get that us for us, it would be great. I had one more question. It just come back to me.
Okay.
Ms. Oliver, go ahead.
So my question, knowing the fact that it's not our responsibility to pay, so I will ask the chair and the mayor, what is the process, what's going on that side of town before the individual leaves? Is that all going to be settled so we can figure out if that money's coming back to the school and make sure we're not in negative? So what is the process before 9/11, that person leaves, last day?
9/11 is a good day.
It is a very sad day, but I want to know what's the process with that individual?
Well, it doesn't matter who the individual that is leaving or staying. The numbers are numbers, and it's going to be taken care of by the time that we have to go through the reporting. There's going to be an interim CFO that I will probably invite to come to the school committee as well and just kind of introduce himself to some of the new members that haven't seen the individual yet. But we will have that, and we'll deal with that and make sure that the books are taken care of.
When is the date so the committee can know?
The what?
So the residents can know when is the date that needs to be settled? What is the date that you guys need to report this? The year?
Your report's due
yes.
September 30th.
Okay,
Get it?
thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Go on, man.
And also, that reminds me, one final update for the finance office is that we, as you know, we are still working on getting a school business administrator or filling that position. And our budget director, Sarah Butler, will actually be leaving us to pursue other endeavors, but we actually will be announcing, or I'll announce right now, our new budget director will be Aminata Sharif, who some of you may know from her work on the city side as the assistant city auditor who had been hired for school finance. So she will be joining us on September 16th.
Good? Awesome. All right, SBA update.
The MSBA update. So I know, Left Field is going to be joining a lot of our different open houses that are coming up to, again, make sure that the community knows about our building project. We had contractors who were interviewed this week as well. And so the project continues to move forward. We continue to have our public meetings, but also weekly meetings to go through all of the different areas of the building project. So I don't know if there's specific questions, or if, Mayor, you have any additional information to provide. All right.
Are there any items to be referred to subcommittees? Nothing? All right. Numero cuatro.
Is the consent agenda. So we can go. Item A is approval of the minutes from the special school committee meeting June 30th, 2026.
Go ahead. Okay.
Motion to approve, approval of minutes, special school committee meeting, June 30th, 2026.
Second.
A motion has been properly made in second. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item B is the approval of the minutes from the regular school committee meeting from June 16th, 2026.
Motion to approve, regular school committee meeting, June 16, 2026.
Second.
Motion has been properly made in second. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
Motion carries. Number 5.
Roman numeral 5 is unfinished business, and the first item is discussion and potential vote, policy subcommittee meeting, September 3rd, 2026.
Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you. As you guys know, we had a policy subcommittee a few weeks back. We ran out of time. We weren't able to finish all the policies. We met earlier today and finalized all the items on the agenda. A few of those were voted positively and recommended for the whole committee for a final vote. I will read the ones that were voted favorably for this committee. It was Policy 1, which is Policy 2, KE, which is Public Complaints, revised by council based on request of the committee. Policy DBC, which is Budget Planning Presentation Strategy, revisions submitted by Vice Chair. Policy GCF, Professional Staff Hire, and revisions by council based on request from Vice Chair. Policy ECAB, Access to Building and Grounds, Mask proposed revisions. Policy JFBB, School Choice, Mask proposed revisions. Policy JLCD, Administration of Medication to Students. Actually, that one had already been approved by this committee. And then Policy 14 JLCDC, Self-Administration and Self-Carry of Medications, which had already been voted for the by this committee. So the subcommittee made a favorable vote to recommend these for a final vote. And I make a motion that we approve the policies that have been read, to approve and accept the same.
Second.
A motion has been properly made in second to accept the policy subcommittee's
Recommendation.
language.
Recommendation.
Recommendation. Ms. Centello.
Yes.
Mr. Gomes.
Yes.
Ms. Oliver.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Lapina.
Yes.
So moved.
The next item is discussion and potential vote on the vote to waive fees for the Brockton Police Community Event, and you have that bill in front of you. Again, this is an event that we support, or have supported, I believe, for 4 years prior as well.
Yes. Similarly, we had already discussed this in our previous meeting. I did forward the invoice to all the committee members. This is just a vote to waive the fee. So,
Mr. Pina.
I just have a few concerns. I am concerned about a slippery slope where if we do this, and then what do we do when, say, the Cape Verdean Association comes in, or Brockton Junior Boxers comes in, or the Raiders come in, and they want their fees waived. I'm just concerned that this sets a bad precedent.
Thank you, sir.
noted. I make a motion to waive the fees for the Brockton Police Community Event.
Second.
On the motion,
On the motion.
what are these fees, the $3,000, where's it coming from? Where in the budget are we,
From the facilities budget.
okay.
All right, a motion has been properly made in second. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
No?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Roman numeral 6 is new business, and the item is review of revised subcommittee assignments.
May I?
Go ahead, sir.
So everybody has received a copy of the new subcommittees. I don't believe we need a vote, right, Sarah? No, we don't really need a vote. It's just to share with the committee for revision, adopted after our last meeting.
Ms. Centello?
Before we make a vote, are you able to read to us, like, who is, like, all of the members can you read to us the subcommittees and who are here?
I certainly can but I don't believe there needs to be a vote, does there?
No, I know. I
Oh.
just
Oh,
want
you
to,
just
like.
want me to read it?
Yeah, please, thank you.
All of them, really? Okay.
Well, can you just read for the year 2026, maybe the negotiation team and just the
Okay.
first column,
So
please? Thank you.
the top, okay, year 2026, the accounts review, Claudio Gomes, Sandra Centello, T. Sullivan, A. Oliver. Athletics, Arts, Music, Extracurriculars, Tony Rodriguez, A. Oliver. Sandra Centeo, J. Asak. Bid Review, Tony Rodriguez, C. Gomes, S. Centeo, T. Sullivan. Building Naming, Joyce Azak, T. Rodriguez, S. Centeo, C. Gomes. Diversity, Race, Equity, and Inclusion, Sandra Centeo, A. Oliver, C. Gomes, T. Rodriguez. Grievance Certified, Timothy Sullivan, S. Centeo, A. Oliver, C. Gomes. There is no longer the grievance non-certified, that's been stricken. Mental Health and Wellbeing, Anna Oliver, C. Gomes, S. Centeo, J. Asak. Policy Manual Review, Joyce Asak, T. Rodriguez, C. Gomes, A. Oliver. Do you want me to read the negotiating committees or no?
Do these get posted on our website? Like, how do we know?
Yeah,
Yes.
they can be posted.
Yeah.
They will be posted.
All right, thank you.
You good? All right, so we don't need a vote on that. Go ahead, sir.
Under new business, I know we just talked about the evaluation. Last year, we had selected a few members to review and compile the results. Should we do the same? Because I know we have almost 3 weeks to submit those. I think we should have a team ready similar to what we did last year. So once everybody submits their response, we can sit down and put it together to be presented like we did before. If anybody's interested in being part of that group.
Go ahead.
I'll motion, I know there's further discussion, to have Sandra Centeo and Steve Pina accompany the vice chair when we compile it as we did last year. Bringing new members on, Mrs. Oliver and Mr. Gomes joined me when we were compiling that, so they could learn the process of what it takes to put the superintendent's evaluation process. It was never done. It was the first time last year that we brought the committee together to compile this evidence. So my motion is Mrs. Centeo and Mr. Pina to join Mr. Gomes to compile the evidence.
Thank you, boss, for adding me. It would be an honor to do this task. So I would love any learning opportunities. So let's
Is that in the
go.
form of a motion?
Yes, it's a motion.
Second.
All right, a motion was properly made and second. Ms. Centeo.
Of course, yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a committee. Next item, please.
Roman numeral 7 is School Safety and Security. Or, Mark, please see.
Good evening, Officer Mosley.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a nice summer. So, school police update outline. First day of school went smoothly with no major issues. With the current staff, the current staff allowed us to address several areas that we had difficulty adequately covering last year, as you all know, particularly with the morning and afternoon traffic. We asked parents and guardians to be patient for the first couple of weeks as we all get back into the school routine. Staffing. Go along with what I just said before. We have 14 school police officer personnels, 3 new ones that started on this side as of August 17th. Officer McDonald, Officer Rosa, and Officer Perez. I'm going to go off the track for a little bit. Having those 3 with the rest of us this year, I don't know if you heard from the principals or anything like that, but just from the first day of just having we could use more, but just having that number made a significant difference and impact as far as the traffic that we had to deal with last year. We only had like 6 or 7, and trying to spread ourselves thin with the morning and afternoon traffic. And it was just from my observation today, just having the personnel to be able to send 2 officers to a school that has traffic issues like the Baker, the George, the Raymond, which is where they're located is very congested, but to have the resources to have that makes a huge, huge difference. So that's something that's good. And going down the, get back on track here. I'll skip that one. Excuse me 1 second. So anyway, so staying on that, so just going over that, we'll continue to rotate the traffic assignments. Like I said, the Raymond, the George, the Baker, the Angelo. Now I guess we have South Middle School. That was they have a little problem down there. But again, I went down there today, spoke to the principal, said they're having an issue. It was great to just say, all right, we can have an officer down there. Last year, we couldn't do that. Or actually, going back a couple of years, we couldn't do that. And to have the numbers that we have now, it's great to be able to send an officer down there to just monitor the traffic or just assist with the principal. So that's good. On the request of Ken Thompson, of course. And again, we just ask the parents and guardians just to be patient in the first couple of weeks until everybody gets back into the groove. As far as training, we have 2 officers taking a class with the MPTC for school bus enforcement training, which will give them a overview of the bus laws, enforcement procedures, and school transportation safety, which would be nice. Again, these officers taking the initiative to better themselves and educate themselves, again, to help make the department better. The summer programs went well. No significant issues with the World Cup event or the carnival. As you know, that there was a situation earlier this week with a student that was recovering from a gunshot that lived in Pine Grove. He's back at school. School administration was notified. Last but not least, yesterday, one of our officers, Officer Texera, was on patrol and checking out one of the schools at the B.B. Russell, came across a stolen motor vehicle with 2 high school students, and a firearm was recovered. Both were arrested. Both school administration were notified. That's it. Any questions?
Right.
Of course.
So I'm sure everyone read the recent article about Snow Park and the cleanup over there. And I know that I've had and I've fielded a few different questions from residents about some of the issues of the homeless invading the school property and trying to get indoors, and I believe in a few instances actually getting into a door. Can you explain or tell us a little bit about what you and the department is doing to collaborate with the Brockton Police and to ensure that that area stays cleared out, especially during the school year?
You said Snow Park?
Yeah.
Directed patrols. Again, with the staffing that we have now, we can address that issue.
How many issues have come across for the school police on school grounds that relate to that, those transient individuals at that park?
I have to get back to you on that. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't want to give you an answer and not give you the correct answer.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Officer.
All right. Thank you.
Announcements. Announcements? Well, if nobody has one, I do have one. I want to remind everybody that next week is 9/11, and we are in the process of putting together a program for the 25th anniversary Day of Remembrance of 9/11, one of the worst incidences that actually happened to our country. So you should have all gotten an invitation for a program that's taking place at City Hall starting around 8:30 in the morning. This year, we're going to do it a little different. We're going to start with the moment of silence, the time that the first plane hit the building in New York, and then we'll start the program. So this is an invitation for you all, members of the committee, members of the school community, also the people that are watching us at home. I think it's important for us to stand together as a nation and remember what was, again, perhaps the second worst day for our country, remembering Pearl Harbor for some people that can actually remember that, and then 9/11 2021. So it's an invitation for all of you, and if you can make it, it would be greatly appreciated. I want to, as I stated before, This is one city, we're all in this city together, and it's important for all of us to kind of band together and represent our communities together. Go ahead, sir.
Just to be clear, it wasn't an incident, it was a terrorist attack.
Call it whatever it was. It was one of the worst days for this country, and that's the way I see it. And it's important that we stay vigilant so that it doesn't happen again, you know? Anybody else? Could we get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been properly made in second. Ms. Centello?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Oliver? Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Pina?
Yes.
That's a yes from me as well. Having no further business for the children or this school system, our meeting is adjourned.